Hello, Vidat. Okay, so let's take a look at your updates here, and we will build from there. So first off, I wanted to address your question. Your question was, what do we do if because again, to catch people up, if this is the first video that you're watching, we're faking some lights in off-screen here. And his question was, what do we do in a situation of an animated film where we're faking lights in this way that are off camera? Like, what if the baby moves and all of a sudden we see that section of the room? Well, first off, when you're working on an animated project, you know all the shots, you know where the character is going to be moving, you know where the action is going to be taking place. There is a chance, if we're down here at the baby's level, that we'll never see up there. And if that's the case, we can really do whatever we want. We can add lights off camera as if there's a lamp or a television or some sort of other light emitting source. If we do see that area and we know that we're going to need a character lit in a certain way, we can either model something in there ourselves, like, just copy these sconce lights and move those down there. Or if it's a larger studio, you can ask somebody in a different department. You can put in a request for something like that. That's very common. But basically, the lights, like the modeling of lights generally works around the look. It's not usually the other way around. So you aren't just kind of stuck with the model and then you're dealing with the lighting as is. Usually the lights are placed and the light sources are placed with a clear-cut idea of what the final look is going to be. But in this particular case, because from what I've seen so far, it's just a still, I don't think that this is an animated character at this point. So I think we have full luxury to do whatever the heck we want. Excuse me. We can, we can place any lights anywhere. We can pretend that anything at all is off this screen right side of the camera here. We can pretend that the character is running towards a big silhouetted shadow of a parent. We can have the kid running towards, like I said, like a television screen or something. We can have the kid running into like total darkness and scariness, and he's being chased by something. It's literally whatever we want it to be. So, a few things moving forward. I really like this reference that Louise had provided with the light coming through the window here. So I want to look at this and talk about where yours is as well. So the biggest thing that stands out to me is just the value of the area outside the window here. I want to look at that between that and yours. And as you can see, yours is much darker. We've got this kind of haze going over the top of it. But it seems to be only affecting outside of the window here. So I would like to see just like a little bit of a value lift right in here. If I just took this and we just shifted these values up a little bit. See something more like that. And then we can take away these edges. And again, this would be done with, like something outside the camera, outside the window there, either in the comp or, or in the render, you'll put a card back there. But I would leave the alpha channel open, and then in the comp, I would just add a little something like that to it. So just a little something to lift the value there. I think that'll help kind of pull all of that together. The other thing that I'm really noticing in this one is how like the light really is going in one solid direction, right? Like it's all just kind of coming down this way and it's all feeding in this way. It's a very linear line. This one, on the other hand, everything's kind of moving in a radial pattern. Like things are going up here, it's going out this way, the rays are going over here. I would really like to see that become a little bit more linear, I guess, where this is kind of coming down here and this is kind of coming down. I mean, it can be a little bit more open than that, like this way, but we want to feel a very strong sense of direction because, again, this is moonlight or some sort of light source that's very far away. And those lines, as you get further away from something, it'll shoot more parallel only when you're very close to something do they kind of like go up and spray out like this. So a light source that is much closer to this window will create a light ray of that variety, where something further away would create much more parallel lines. And I think that is important there. So something like that. And then something else I noticed. So it's pretty even outside of that window. If we lift it to this value, it won't be too bad. But I just thought it would be nice to get some sort of an idea of a horizon line out there. Again, if it was me, I would render this and have that be like a black alpha out there, and then add an image in the comp. Just back behind that, just to lift those dark values. That'll also help you get this lifted value in there. And then the last thing is I would just ever so slightly, I would make the baby just a slight bit, I'll take a little bit of the blue out of the baby. Because I know it's a nice blue scene, but we want to make sure the baby's keeping a very nice warm skin tone. So I think that's very important with this as well. But but first and foremost, I want to make sure we get this light, or this window, all squared away between having some more parallel lines, getting the values of the panes lifted a little bit, and then also possibly reading a little bit of an environment outside the window as well. So if you have any questions about any of that, just let me know. But keep going, keep posting stuff, and can't wait to see what you do next. All right, happy lighting.